7 and also plays a sparkling center field. Now, Arizona has 6 national championships, and we welcome Tennessee to the big show. This is the first time they have even made the World Series, and they rely on a sophomore pitcher in MonicaAbbott.
Well, the question with Tennessee is going to be their inexperience. Can they handle the pressure of making it here to the big show? But they've got a great leader in MonicaAbbott, and she's just a tremendous one to watch for the future.
MonicaAbbott is leading the country in wins and also in strikeouts. Remarkably, 36 straight shutout innings. She has not given up a run yet in 5 postseason games. So Tennessee, the new kid on the block, trying to knock off Arizona in the first game. The Women's College World Series starting now.
Put a stop to pop-ups. SBC Yahoo Online Protection blocks pop-ups and more. It's all together with SBC Yahoo DSL. It's still just $19.95 a month. Save $5 when you order online.
College, from the Latin collegium, meaning association. University, from universium, which literally means everything. And that's what America's institutions of higher learning are all about. People getting together to share a universe of knowledge and experiences in the libraries, labs, and classrooms, and also in the arenas and stadiums, the proving grounds for young athletes and the ancient ideal they honor. Strip the spectacle away, and you're left with the unvarnished foundation of college athletics, working, dreaming, striving, playing for the love of the game and for the love and respect of your teammates.
Welcome to Oklahoma City on a beautiful afternoon, about 79 degrees as Tennessee and Arizona get ready to square off in Game 1 of this 24th annual Women's College World Series. Tennessee here for the first time ever. Let's go to their starting lineup.
My name is Lindsay Schutzler. I'm from Monterey, California, and me and my sister have the same birthday, 4 years apart.
My name is Sarah Feckety, and I'm from Maryville, Tennessee, and I love Dr. Pepper.
My name is Christy Durant. I'm from Placentia, California, but my other home is Disneyland.
My name is Tanya Callahan. I'm from Cole, Missouri, and I was the youngest girl to participate in the USC.
My name is Catherine Card. I'm from Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, and I did not grow up on a farm.
I'm Shannon Depking. I'm from Acton, California, and when I was younger, I used to barrel race.
My name is Stacy Jennings, and I'm from Aurora, Colorado, but yet I hate to ski.
My name is Kenora Posey. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and I like to listen to music before a game.
Hi, my name is India Childs. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, and I love to eat Snickers before every game.
Hi, I'm Monica Abbott. I'm from Salinas, California, and I took ballroom dancing last semester.
That is a look at the Tennessee Lady Vols. Monica Abbott is their sophomore pitcher, 47-7 on the season. Her ERA at 0.49. She has 6 no-hitters and a couple of perfect games only as a sophomore. Tennessee, again, for the first time coming to the Women's College World Series. They are 64-13 on the season. That's Karen Weekly, the co-head coach. Her husband, Ralph Weekly, is the other co-head coach. As Tennessee comes in against an Arizona team they have never faced in the postseason. And the question will be if there are any opening day jitters for Tennessee. Arizona did not make the Women's College World Series last season, breaking a string of 16 straight appearances, during which time they won 6 national championships. Let's take a look now at the Arizona defense, and we already talked about Caitlin Lowe in the open. Not only is she a great leadoff hitter, but will make some spectacular plays out in center field. And behind the plate, Jackie Coburn, about 3 weeks ago, shifting to the catching position, and Mike Andrea, their head coach, says it really has made a difference on his club. He finally has a leader, something that they have been looking for really all season long. You see the dimensions of the ballpark, 220 to straight center and only a $190 down the lines lead, so which is for home run hitters like you is pretty good. But also Lisa Fernandez, a great pitcher, and we will get a look at Alicia Hollowell for Arizona.
Alicia Hollowell definitely has the experience of being here, and she's going to be their leader in the circle. U of A has got the #2 ranked defense in all of NCAA, so they're definitely going to be tight on that end, and it's going to be up to Tennessee to see if they can break through that steal.
They are the #2 ranked defense. The #1 ranked defense is Tennessee, obviously. And Alicia Hollowell, the all-time leading strikeout queen, I guess you would say, at Arizona, and she's only a junior, so she still has one more season to build on that. So Arizona coming in, the Wildcats going just 13-8 in the Pac-10 on the season, as they really that 1 year absence last year for them, Lisa, I know was tough on a lot of players, because it's like a rite of spring and summer for them is to get to this series.
Well, definitely, and a big part of that was not having Coach Candrea a part of that team last year that didn't make it to the College World Series. And there you can see him. He was actually with the Olympians, and I had the pleasure of playing with him and winning the 3rd gold medal for the United States in that 2004 competition that we had in Athens, Greece. I can't say enough about Coach Candrea and just his dedication to this sport.
And last year with the national team, unbeaten all the way through the Athens Olympics, and now he is back with his team and has taken them to the World Series. Their 18th World Series in the last 19 years. And we are getting underway. Lindsay Schutzler, the shortstop for Tennessee, leading off, and she takes the first pitch outside for a ball.
And the keys to Hollowell is really staying ahead of the count. We talk about it as being pitcher's count, 0-1, 0-2, keeping the batters on defense. You never want to get in a situation as a pitcher where you get behind and now the advantage goes to the person in the box.
That 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike, and boy, Schutzler, very similar. These teams are very similar at the top of their orders. We've talked about Caitlin Lowe, the great leadoff hitter for Arizona. She hits .527, Schutzler at .408, but very similar types of hitters at least. 1-1 pitch, and you see there's the slap you see.
And that's going to be part of the game on both sides of the field here with Tennessee as well as with U of A. Both of them have these slap hitters. What's that called as a running slap? Basically, the left-handed hitter in the back of the box, she's going to cross over, try and get a running start. Her job is to hit the ball down on the ground and utilize her speed.
That one way up top. Count at 2-2. Ralph Weekly, one of the co-head coaches for Tennessee, along with his wife, Karen. He was the national team director, a guy you know well.
I had the opportunity to play for Ralph Weekly. As an Olympic coach, he was one of the assistants with Ralph Raymond as head coach, and Shirley Topley.
And a couple of Olympics as Schutzler gets a hold of that one and stays alive.
And what's going to be interesting in this game is really the defenses are going to be tested with the running slaps, 4 of them being part of the Tennessee Ball Club and 5 of them on U of A. That's going to be their keys, is putting pressure on the defense, and that's what a running slapper is all about. They typically will have a Caitlin Lowe, fastest in the game, at about a 2.6 to usually about a 2.8.
Getting down to first base that quickly, and the first strikeout for Hollowell.
And this is Hollowell. Hollowell's going to use that rise ball. Right here you can see it was down in the zone, but it's called a low rise. That's pretty much her go-to. You're going to see her throw quite a bit of it. You can see how she pulls up and stays back on that pitch. You're going to see a lot of that from Hollowell today.
And then the career leader in strikeouts at Arizona. Some great pitchers have gone through there. Jenny Finch and Nancy Evans, who is an assistant coach now for the Wildcats, as we take a look at Sarah Feckerty, yet another slapper from the left side of the plate. Feckerty, a first-team All-SEC performer, was second in the SEC in stolen bases, and you see that protective gear around her jaw because she broke it a few weeks ago. Fouls that one off. Feckerty was hit by pitch, at Virginia the end of March. She missed 4 weeks of action. And now where's that protective headgear around her face?
And that's become a new rule in ASA ball, is now players, especially 18 and unders and down, are wearing those face masks for protection.
And she goes down on 3 pitches, so 2 batters and 2 strikeouts for Hollowell.
And Hollowell's off to a good start, and that's going to be the name of her game, getting herself into good pitcher's counts, working low in the zone, utilizing that low rise ball, first pitch of the game, following it with a drop, and then ultimately coming back with the rise again. The better pitcher you are, the more you can make your pitches look similar to one another, starting off at the same plane, getting a drop to go down, but getting the rise to go up, and that's what makes someone of Hollowell's status very difficult to hit, is you're not really sure what's coming.
Because otherwise you can sort of tip off your pitches, right? If you use different deliveries or land in different places as she bounces that one in to Durant.
And there you can see Hollowell introduces her changeup. Not one of her strongest pitches, but still a valuable pitch for her to be able to throw and just to let those opponents know that she has it in her bag of tricks.
Hollowell delivering to Christy Durant, the number 3 hitter, a junior third baseman from California, who actually set the SEC season RBI record this year with 76. Of course, it helps when you have people like Schutzler and Feckerty on base ahead of you, something she does not have right now.
And this is the kind of count right here that the Tennessee players want to find themselves in, knowing that Hollowell's got a challenge right through the zone.
That one is taken outside for a ball. And you might notice on the Tennessee helmets, the initials JC really are spattered all over them. And that stands for Jimmy Chitwood, who was the hero of the movie Hoosiers, leading Hickory High to that improbable championship. And that is what the Weeklies, the co-head coaches, are. They kind of think of themselves as just a team of Jimmy Chitwoods.
Well, and that's the attitude they've got to have, is they've got to realize that they've got to play hard for everything they get, just as other teams do. But they are considered the underdogs coming in here as an experienced team. They've just got to stick to their game plan and not let this get bigger than it really is.
3-1, and just getting a piece of it. Count goes full now to Durant. Some teams in the SEC, really the SEC has taken a step up as far as women's softball in recent years. Tennessee, one of those programs that has really improved. They finished second in the SEC East to Georgia this year. Georgia getting into the NCAA tournament, and of course Alabama is here at the World Series. First time we've had 2 teams from the SEC make the World Series in the same year.
Well, definitely the SEC has made a big push to get involved in the female sports, specifically softball, and you can see with the talent and how wide the sport has grown. There's an abundance of talent out there that they've made many programs. It used to be a Southern California dominated sport, and now it's grown tremendously, and I've been able to see it firsthand when we've gone on the Olympic tour and to play against these other states. It's been great to see.
And Durant draws the walk. So Hollowell, after striking out the first 2 batters, puts Durant on with 2 outs.
And here you can see Hollowell going with the rise ball again. Good job there by Durant. It's got to be a strike. And that's the key to hitting, is swinging at good pitches. Sometimes hitters don't realize how important it is to keep a good eye. And that's something that you can work on, in practice and off the field.
Cleanup hitter is a freshman, Tanya Callahan, made the SEC all-freshman team, hit .298 on the season. And she comes up with a runner on first and 2 outs. Hollowell, 0-1 pitch, swung and missed for strike 2. Tennessee, all of their women's programs very strong in track and field. We all know about the women's basketball team and Pat Summitt, who's here, and Lisa Fernandez got to meet her before the game. That was pretty cool.
Just an incredible experience, kind of threw me back a little bit to, there you have Pat Summitt.
We'll visit with her later. 3 strikeouts for Hollowell in the very first inning. We're scoreless. Arizona coming to bat in Oklahoma City.
College baseball's long journey to Omaha begins Friday. Straight forward to the start. And the NCAA Regionals are ESPNU's big event. You've got to play your best to keep the dream alive. He struck him out. First pitches at noon, Friday.
Hammer throw is tough. It isn't just you against a 9-pound ball. It's you against yourself. It's pure concentration, and you have to dig deep inside to find every throw. It's brutal. I had to study biomedical engineering just to relax.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us are going pro in something other than sports.
Think you can't get high-speed internet at your house? Feel like you're stuck with dial-up internet? think again. Directway is high-speed internet by satellite, a super-fast instant connection that's available anywhere in the continental U.S. All you need is a clear view of the southern sky. Directway works with your PC or Mac for faster connections, faster downloads, faster surf speeds, faster everything. There's no software to install, and Directway doesn't use a phone line.
So no more dialing in, no more missed calls, no need to spring for that extra line.
People, it's time you get the high-speed option you really want. Call 1-866-GET-DWAY or visit getdway.com and get Directway at your house. It's a no-brainer. Directway, the super-fast instant internet connection that doesn't use a phone line or care where you live. Free yourself. Get Directway. Call 1-866-GET-DWAY or visit getdway.com now and get high-speed satellite internet. The choice is yours, and you deserve it.
Alicia Hollowell now with 420 strikeouts on the season. She got 3 in the top of the first. As we head to the bottom of the first, let's take a look at Arizona's starting lineup. And boy, what a dangerous, especially the top 3 hitters in this lineup. Caitlin Lowe, that is not a misprint, by the way, is hitting an incredible .527. And Autumn Champion and Christy Fox come up. After that, Coburn has a decent average, but really after the first 3, Lisa, Arizona has had a tendency to struggle.
Well, and that's unlike Arizona softball, but Coach Kendra has done the best he can with putting himself in a good position. He's mixed in some running slappers there to continue to create some kind of offense, even down through the bottom of the order.
He loves those slappers, have 5 of them in the lineup. And this is Monica Abbott, first team All-SEC. She's only a sophomore, and this is a kid who leads the country with 47 wins, but it will be interesting to see her first ever World Series, how she handles, especially this first inning.
This is going to be a good test for her. She's young. She is in the national team program, so she is someone that they're looking for in the future. But this will be a good test from her. She comes from a small area and from Salinas, California, and she knew that University of Tennessee was the place for her. It was home. It was a smaller area and place that she wanted to help build.
A little less pressure and certainly a lesser spotlight than, say, some of the Pac-10 schools that recruited her, as she gets her first look at Caitlin Lowe, who takes it low for a ball. And Lowe is on a 14-game hitting streak. And boy, we were with her at the Super Regional where she was nearly 5 for 7 and just a terror playing center field as well. Great player. Another young player, only a sophomore.
And another player that's on our national team program, she's someone that they are looking for in the future, whether it be 2008 or 2012. She's a potential future Olympian.
Took the first pitch from Abbott for a ball. And that's her game, the running slap, but fouls that one off to even the count up at 1-1.
And there you have the running slap, and this is what U of A is known for. Caitlin Lowe, the fastest player in this college game by far, is definitely someone that UT has been concerned about. The University of Tennessee has structured some of their practices of late when they realized they were going to get here to really apply pressure to that infield so they can get used to what it's going to be like to face these U of A slappers.
That one just off the plate, taken for ball 2, and you see the first baseman Tanya Callahan and the third baseman Christy Durant shortening up, because Lowe, if she really puts the ball in play, it's almost impossible still to throw her out. She is so fast. You mentioned, what, about a 2.6 going down the line.
As a defender, you don't have that much time. Any kind of hesitation, and she's going to get it done.
2-1 count to the leadoff batter. Oh, that's what they needed for Tennessee, as Abbott throws out Low, and that's a good way to start for Abbott and this relatively young and inexperienced Tennessee team.
So that's a big out right there for Abbott to kind of settle herself in, get obviously one of the most potent players in this game in Lowe. You can see Lowe doing a good job. She didn't get the angle that she needed to get on that. A lot of running slapping is being able to get the right bat angle. Something that Lowe had been working on, though, is anything thrown inside to her as away from what normal slappers try and do, hit it to the left side of the infield. On anything inside, these U of A players are going to try and pull it with them. There, that pitch was down the middle of the plate, and Lowe didn't quite get the angle she needed to hit it to the left side of the infield.
So she is retired, and that brings up Autumn Champion, another left-handed slapper, also very good at getting on base. Took the first pitch for a ball. Arizona, again, coming in, they won the Tucson Regional at home as they were able to sweep Oklahoma 6-0 and then 7-6, and a very exciting come-from-behind win. Jennifer Martinez with a pinch-hit 3-run homer to win it.
And Monica Abbott is a pretty intimidating presence there. She's 6'3", left-handed, which is something you don't see very often. in fast pitch softball, and that's really an advantage to Monica. There's not a lot of hitters that see left-handed pitchers that throw. They have a natural curveball, which is what she throws, a screwball, and she's predominantly known for going upstairs and throwing the rise.
A bunt laid down by Champion, and the second baseman Posey covers. And a good test and a good job so far for this Lady Vol defense with these speedy two top hitters for Arizona.
And that's a good play right there by Callahan. That's something that Autumn Champion has done in the past quite successfully, is pulling that drag bunt down that first base line. Sometimes first basemen tend to be a little hesitant because if that ball gets hit, there's a foot race going on between first and that running slopper. So that's a good job right there by Callahan to be able to stay in there, trust her feet work, and being able to get back to the bag, but being able to field that bunt.
And Callahan, just a freshman playing first base, and a good job by Posey to go over and cover, because the second baseman doesn't have much time to get over there either to cover because of the speed coming down the baseline. Christy, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And that's where you'll see some kind of defense put on different plays. Sometimes they'll keep the first baseman back, sometimes they'll bring her in. They'll shift responsibilities, and that's part of what creates havoc on a defense when you're facing so many running sloppers with such speed.
Christy Fox now up with nobody on base, something that's rather unusual for her to come up with neither lower Champion on. That one is just off the plate. You remember the first time you pitched in the World Series? What were your butterflies like? Pretty big?
It's pretty intense. I mean, you come out here and you're used to playing to maybe 3,000 people in front of your home area, whether it's University of Arizona or University of Tennessee, but here you come to Oklahoma, it's a neutral site, and you still got 3,000 or 4,000 people in the stands.
Fox swing and a miss on a 68-mile-an-hour pitch, and women's softball, 40 feet away is the pitching rubber, and the bases are 60 feet apart, so it's the ball gets to you pretty quickly from 43 feet away, needless to say.
And that's definitely what our game is all about, is being quick.
Fox, swing and a miss. So a nice 1-2-3 inning for Monica Abbott. Pat Summitt coming up next when we return to Oklahoma City.
If it's played on a campus, it's on ESPNU.
That's 3-on-2. He kept his feet going. Touchdown. He's got it.
The best college sports action all year long.
Oh, to carry it down this rocket. The Denver Pioneers win the national championship. Score!
Here's what's playing tomorrow night at 7, Baseball Regionals. Missouri battles Arizona. Then at 11, Harvard versus Cal State Fullerton. ESPNU, always in season.
If you're looking for more in an auto parts store, get ready. Advance Auto Parts is working harder to make our stores better than the rest. Get ready for an auto parts store unlike anything you've experienced before. Get ready for a cleaner, brighter, better place to shop. Get ready for a store organized so you can easily find what you're looking for. Get ready for in-store innovations you won't find anywhere else. When you want more than just another auto parts store, the first place to go is Advance Auto Parts.
We're ready. You know the feeling. Every guy's had it. You're unbeatable, unstoppable. You got that walking on water feeling. You look, they smile. You win, they go home. It's the feeling you get every day with the world's best shave. M3 Power. Every move is smooth. Every word is cool. I never want to lose that feeling. Gillette, the best a man can get.
NCAA Championships on ESPN2. The Women's College World Series is brought to you by American Standard Heating and Cooling Systems.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City. Scoreless game. We join the third member of our team, Holly Rowe, who is joined by a pretty special guest. Holly?
Well, you're used to seeing her on the hardwood, but today Pat Summitt is out at the ballpark. And Coach Summitt, what made you come and support this Tennessee team?
Well, you think about the Lady Vols, and we're all family. But I think the main reason, Holly, is that I've been really involved in all of their visits to campus, on their campus visits. I've met almost every one of these student athletes at some time in their recruiting weekend. And I really have great respect for what Karen and Ralph Weekly, they're awesome coaches, are even finer people, and what they've been able to accomplish in a relatively short period of time. And I guess I had flashbacks today flying in thinking about the first time we went to a Final Four and how excited I am for this team and this coaching staff and obviously our program.
Monica Abbott is a friend of yours, and after they made it to this event, she called you. You were the first person she called. What is your relationship like with Monica, the pitcher?
When she came on her visit, my first thing was, do you play basketball?
She's got the size, right?
Yeah, she played basketball, but she said, you know, softball's my specialty, and obviously what an awesome pitcher. And when she was on campus, all right, we got somebody on. When she was on campus, she just told me that she really had first started watching Lady Vol basketball, and that's how she learned about the University of Tennessee. And so I promised this team when I visited with them, I said, you make it to the World Series, I'll be there. So I left a great vacation in Florida to be here, but it's well worth it.
Well, that's Pat Summitt. She left her vacation, and she's been an important recruiting tool to get many of these student athletes here for their first trip to the College World Series. Pam?
All right, thank you, Holly, and thanks to Pat. And Lisa got to meet her before the game. One of the most impressive people I've ever met. I mean, she walks into a room and she kind of takes over.
Well, just, you know, to know that what she's done, it's just been amazing. I mean, to represent women the way she has and to be the winningest coach in all of college.
And Shannon Depking going to sacrifice Catherine Card over to second. Card, an infield single. You heard Pat Summitt a little play-by-play there. All right, we got a man on, and the runner they got on was Card with the infield single, and now she's sacrificed over to second.
And this is a big part of fast-pitch softball, is really knowing that there's not a lot of opportunity to score. You really need to take advantage when you get someone on base, and the sacrifice bunt is a huge part of our game. Hollowell does a great job of fielding the bunt. Typically, you would want your corners to be able to crunch and take over that, but there, U of A did a great job of doing their job, and Tennessee did a great job of doing theirs.
So now with one out, Stacey Jennings, the right fielder, comes up. Jennings has done some pitching as well. She's a junior from Aurora, Colorado, who made her way down to Knoxville, and she squares to bunt and then calls timeout as Hollowell took some time looking in.
And this is another form of a slap. This is what normally righties would call a slap. That's basically showing bunt. At times it'll draw the infield in, but then pulling it back and swinging away.
And just taken high, and we saw both of the defenders on the corners, Crystal Farley and Shelley Schultz, shortening up at first and third respectively.
And typically why that's done is, one, it helps you shorten your swing, believe it or not, even though you are bringing it back, but it also allows you to see more of a frontal view of that pitcher by being squared up to her a little bit better.
Pulls it back and hits it to Schultz at third. Runner holds at second as Jennings is retired. So now with two outs, Kenora Posey comes up, the second baseman. Jennings failing to get the runner over.
And that's a good play there by Schultz, being able to field the ground ball, but also being able to look the runner back at second base before she makes that throw across the infield to first.
Kenora Posey is from Los Angeles, where she went to the Crenshaw Learning Center. And Natasha Watley, who was a teammate of yours on the U.S. Olympic team, helped to recruit her to, got a look at her and knows her.
Well, Natasha Watley is part of the RBI program, and this is a product of that program, and it just goes to show what you can do and the athletes that you can bring into our sport.
Yeah, not necessarily recruiting her to Tennessee, but being a part of that program in Crenshaw. And Posey making the huge trip and down to Knoxville, where she is fit in as a freshman second baseman. She also is a slapper, hitting only 135 on the season. Has a runner on second, and that one is taken high. Top of the second inning. Tennessee with a runner on second, but two out. Alicia Hollowell, the best strikeout pitcher in Arizona history, in the circle, and she gets yet another strikeout. That's her first of this inning, but fourth of the game. When we come back, we'll get to know Tennessee's pitcher, Monica Abbott, in a scoreless game.
We got married, suddenly we had two of everything.
They had a lot of stuff.
2 dinette sets, 2 dogs.
2 car insurance companies. I'm State Farm agent Joan Roysam, and this is a true story.
We had to get rid of a few things.
Yeah, mainly my things.
He had State Farm.
She had a gecko.
I helped them compare rates and coverage.
It was no comparison.
He was right, for once.
This time, one of my things stayed.
Last year, 1.3 million drivers switched to State Farm. Call an agent today and you'll switch too.
Like a good neighbor,
State Farm is there.
College from the Latin collegium, meaning association. University from universium, which literally means everything. And that's what America's institutions of higher learning are all about. People getting together to share a universe of knowledge and experiences in the libraries, labs, and classrooms, and also in the arenas and stadiums, the proving grounds for young athletes and the ancient ideal they honor. Strip the spectacle away, and you're left with the unvarnished foundation of college athletics. Working, dreaming, striving, playing for the love of the game and for the love and respect of your teammates.
Best advice I've ever received is from my grandmother, and it's to follow my heart.
And Monica Abbott threw the ball down yesterday, and she's ready to pitch. And we had a little visit with her yesterday. And only a sophomore making the trip from California to play at Tennessee. And very unusual. She doesn't like to talk about what she throws. Doesn't have to get specific at all. You asked her just a general question about strength and didn't even want to get into that.
Yeah, it was kind of surprising. I'm not exactly sure why that is, whether it's maybe some inexperience, maybe a little lack of confidence, but you know, she's definitely someone that's capable and has a tremendous amount of talent.
And maybe doesn't want to mess with a good thing, because you know, once again, this is a kid who leads the country in strikeouts now with 567 on the season and an incredible 47-7 record, a 0.49 earned run average. As Jackie Coburn, the cleanup hitter for Arizona, leads off this second inning. Very important for Monica, her first ever trip to the World Series, as it is for all of the Tennessee players, to set the very dangerous top of the order down in order in the first inning.
Monica's done a great job. She's going right at these U of A hitters. She has shown no sense of intimidation. This Tennessee team has come prepared to play ball, and you know, right now U of A is trying to figure their way out. Obviously facing a left-handed pitcher, they thought they'd be able to have a little bit of advantage facing OU last weekend at the Super Regional where Cammie Kiter was throwing, also a left-handed pitcher. But you know, when you got someone who's throwing 68 miles an hour, which really is about 95 to 98 miles an hour to 100 in baseball, that's how quick he gets there in terms of reaction time. By the time Monica lets go of the ball and across his home plate, there's not a lot of time left.
These two teams did not meet during the regular season. And another strikeout as Coburn goes down swinging. So that's 2 strikeouts now for Monica Abbott.
And that's something that we hadn't seen yet. And that's a changeup for Monica Abbott. She's throwing a curveball, a rise ball at roughly about 68, 67 miles an hour. And there you can see she basically pulls the string and drops down to 57 miles an hour. That's just a great pitch right there. You can see how she kind of turns it over a little bit. That's what takes the speed off of that pitch. And a great way to go after an aggressive hitter like Coburn.
You saw Coburn's aggressiveness. That pitch was not a strike, but she swung at it anyway. As Shelly Schultz, the third baseman, comes to the plate for the first time for Arizona.
And that's part of pitching right there. You want to make everything you throw look like a strike, but by the time it gets to the catcher, it's truly out of the zone. And that's when you know as a pitcher that you're able to do what we call break the pitch through the zone. And that's something that is more of an advanced move, but that you strive to be able to do as a pitcher.
Now, they've seen Abbott, I'm sure. They looked at some tape of her, but you can't really get a feel for it, obviously, until you step in against her. As Schultz lifts one to right field, but waiting for it is Stacey Jennings. So Arizona gets it out of the infield, but it is a fly out on the second out of the inning.
And that's a good job there by Shelly Schultz. Curveball into her. She's able to keep her hands inside, be able to get her barrel through, and hits, even though it was a soft fly ball to right field, at least it's a break in terms of being able to get a little bit of a handle on Abbott.
So Abbott has faced 5 batters and set them all down as Callista Balco, the freshman second baseman, comes up for Arizona. She is from Tucson, where the University of Arizona is located. has struck out a lot on the season. And Balco actually played a lot of the season as a catcher. As we take a look at Bruce and Julie, they are Monica's proud parents making the trip from Salinas, California. Dad's in the white shirt. And you skip over one person, and that's the mom. That one taken just inside by Balco as the count goes to 2-0. This is game one of our first session doubleheader. We will have 2 more games for you tonight on ESPN2, including the top seed Michigan in action against DePaul. We really have some great stories here. Tennessee making it for the first time. And how about DePaul, an unseeded team getting into the World Series. And Eugene Lenti, their head coach, we had a great visit with him yesterday. They're just so excited to be here.
Well, they were not expected, and that's one thing. They just came out here and played the best ball that they could, and they believed in themselves.
5 conferences actually represented here at the Women's College World Series in what has been a Pac-10 dominated event. UCLA and Arizona combining for 13 of the last 17 titles. Cal got 1 in between. But we welcome DePaul from Conference USA in. 3-1 to Balco, swing and a miss, and that brings us to a full count.
And that's all you can really ask for as a hitter is you put yourself in a good count. There you had Balco at 3-1, and she takes a hack at it. Unfortunately, she overswung just a little bit, and you can see her kind of pulling out and wasn't able to keep up with that Monica Abbott curveball.
Full count to Balco. Strike 3. So a couple of strikeouts for Monica Abbott. That's her 3rd of the game. When we come back, we'll talk to Arizona assistant Nancy Evans live from the dugout.
Yeah, I have a little attitude, but I've earned it. I've put in the hours. I practice every day. I've learned from the best, and I have no doubt that I can play at the highest level. Right now, I'm guessing I'll end up in either Chicago or New Orleans. Most good jazz musicians do.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us are going pro in something other than sports.
So that's it? I'm hooked up for NFL Sunday Ticket?
I never thought that I could see all these games on my TV, but now with this dish, I truly see how beautiful life can be. 'Cause I got the Sunday Ticket. It's mine, Peyton! This is how watching football games should be. It's NFL Sunday Ticket from DirecTV.
Is what'll happen next.
It's going to be a train wreck.
Mike Tyson versus 6'6" giant Kevin McBride. Saturday, June 11th, live on DirecTV pay-per-view. With Mike Tyson, anything is possible. Don't miss it. Tyson versus McBride on Channel 123.
Welcome back to game one of the Women's College World Series. Still scoreless between Tennessee and Arizona. We are joined now by Arizona assistant coach Nancy Evans, who is the all-time leader in wins for a pitcher at Arizona. How would you assess Hollowell so far? I know it's early, but what are you seeing?
Well, she's keeping the pace of the game and her rhythm, her patience, and she's controlling the zone by working ahead of the hitters and hitting her spots and sticking to the game plan.
And how do you feel about the adjustment that your offense is going to need against Abbott?
Well, you know, I'm pretty confident with our offense. They've been making adjustments later half of the season, and they have a good knowledge of what she throws, and so I'm confident that after the first time through that they're going to come out the next time through and have a better game plan and hit the ball, put it in contact, or put it in play, and get on base and score some runs.
All right, Nancy Evans, the assistant in Arizona, thanks so much for the visit. We've seen a couple of, so far, it's been a pitching-dominated game between Alicia Hollowell and Monica Abbott. Again, Nancy Evans was one heck of a pitcher at the University of Arizona, now in her 7th season under head coach Mike Andrea. India Childs is now up for the Lady Vols. She is their designated player today.
And there you can see Childs doing a running slap. One thing when you see running sloppers is from a pitcher's perspective, if you see them coming out of the box early, going towards first base too soon, going away is a great pitch to throw. If a running slapper tends to crowd into the plate, jamming them in is a good pitch to go.
Strike is taken by Childs, the designated player. You are allowed a designated player in softball if you're not very familiar, if you're with the rules. She is hitting, excuse me, for Monica Abbott, the pitcher, but the pitcher can hit and the designated player can hit for someone else on the defensive lineup, right?
Well, as a designated player, basically what they're allowed to do is they can re-enter the game, but the batting order cannot change.
So Childs in as a designated player, goes down. 5 strikeouts now for Hollowell, as we will head back now to the top of the order. Lindsay Shuttler struck out in her first at bat. Tries to get the bunt down. Let's go down to Holly Rowe now. Holly.
Well, I was checking in with co-head coach Ralph Weekly of Tennessee before the game, and he said, you know, I'm a little worried. Our team is very tight. He asked them if they had butterflies, and they all said yes. They were so loose in their super regional in that 6-0 win over Stanford. That's what helped them. So he was very nervous about how they would come out here today. But so far, getting a base runner on with a walk and then getting a hit, they've really calmed down. Monica Abbott has also been very vocal with her teammates in that huddle, telling them that she's got it under control. So Tennessee, early butterflies, but so far so good. They're starting to just play softball.
Thanks, Holly. Obviously, that's important to get through those first couple of innings, and a good sign, too, that Abbott, as only a sophomore, is trying to calm down her teammates. As Shuttler swings and misses at that pitch. There's Abbott in the dugout.
And here you can see Schutzler, not just a running slapper, but actually trying to take her cuts. And as a leadoff hitter and also as a running slapper, you want to be able to have all 3 parts of your game, to run and slap, to bunt, but be able to hit away.
That one is taken just off the plate. Evens the count up at 2-2. Schutzler was also heavily recruited by Stanford, but chose to go to Tennessee. She's a terrific student, a 3.9 grade point average. Very high SATs. We are told they're around the 1,300 range, which is pretty good. But she struck out twice today. 6 strikeouts now for Hollowell, 2 of them to Schutzler.
And here you can see Hollowell throwing the low rise through the zone. That's something that Tennessee is going to have to make an adjustment to. They're going to have to be able to go and hit down on that pitch. That is something that Hollowell goes to quite often when she's ahead in the count.
So she has struck out both of the batters that she has faced here in the third, as Sarah Feckety comes up for the second time. Feckety also struck out in her first at bat. And as Holly mentioned, Tennessee getting here with a super regional win. They won at Stanford, both of them shutouts, 2-0, and then 6-0. Monica Abbott has yet to give up a run in NCAA play this postseason.
And that's some of the little things that running slappers can do. You can see there that Feckety showed bunt, pulled back, and did a running slap. That's how you draw the defense in. The key there is wanting to keep the defense on their heels, and that's what you'll see running slappers do.
And that one, the bunt laid down. Schultz able to get it over to Balco, but not in time, as Feckety is able to beat it out. That's the second infield single for Tennessee in this game.
And that's a great job by Feckety right there. She was able to, in her previous pitch, be able to show the bunt, pull back for the slap, and then again you see her drop the bunt down. Close play at first base. Looks like it was a missed call by the umpire. I'd say she was out.
Very close, but the replay does look like she might have been out by just a hair. Willie Newman is the first base umpire, and that one is a clean single over Farley as Feckety goes into third. Tennessee now with runners on the corners and 2 out. So Christy Durant taking that first pitch into right field.
And here's Durant, first pitch swinging, getting on top of that rise ball, hitting the ball into left, and this is what speed can do for you. Feckerty doing a great job of base running, going first to third on a base hit to right field.
Tennessee, a team with some speed, very aggressive usually on the base paths. As Ralph Weekly, we will visit with at the bottom of this inning. Chatting with Tanya Callahan, and now his wife Karen gets into it. Callahan coming up, leading this team in home runs with 9 on the season. Now up in a very crucial situation, 2 on and 2 out.
This is an aggressive play here by Ralph Weekly from Tennessee, putting in a pinch runner with 2 outs, taking Callahan out of the game, although she'll be able to re-enter because we do have the re-enter rule. He's playing aggressive ball. He's believing in his hitter here with Callahan up at the plate, looking to be able to potentially get some RBIs, knowing that putting in a pinch runner for Duran on another base hit could create a first to third situation, or if we have Callahan here who can hit a gapper, we can get a runner scoring from first.
That's LaDonna Oliver coming in to pinch run for Durant, and again with the re-entry rule, Durant can come back in, but right now the Weekly's going with speed at first base. Oliver, a freshman from Dayton, Tennessee, 2 for 3 in stolen bases, does have some speed, but hoping that Callahan can knock her in. As that Hollowell offering is taken low for a ball.
And that's one of the advantages of having such a deep bench. When they carry 20-some-odd players, Ralph Weekly has the luxury of going to his bench and pulling in some pinch runners that can provide a little bit more speed on the base pass.
Arizona has gone 38 innings in this postseason without giving up an earned run. As that one is out of play, if Callahan can come through, that would break that string. They did give up 6 runs to Oklahoma last week. 7-6 was the final with Arizona coming back to win, but all 6 runs were unearned.
Well, U of A has been a little shaky in their defense, although they are ranked number 2 in college game. They had to make some adjustments. They took Colburn from third and put her behind the plate. They took the second baseman Schultz and put her at third, and the catcher Balco and moved her to second.
Hollowell gets the strikeout and leads 2 on. That is 7 Ks right now for Alicia Hollowell. A couple of singles wasted for Tennessee. We will talk to Ralph Weekly when we return.
Take this steak and top it with mushrooms, shrimp, or cheese. There's no hesitating, a hot steak is waiting tonight at Applebee's. You better not try to stand in my way when they're topping steaks like these. So take this steak and top it tonight at Applebee's.
You call it in, we bring it out. Try Applebee's new Car Side to Go.
You know the feeling. Every guy's had it. You're unbeatable, unstoppable. You got that walking on water feeling. You look, they smile. You win, they go home. It's the feeling you get every day with the world's best shave. M3 Power. Every move is smooth. Every word is cool. I never want to lose that feeling.
The best a man can get.
Pujols.
Team?
St. Louis Cardinals.
Could you give me the country of origin, please?
Dominican Republic.
Could you use it in a sentence, please?
Pujols homered to win the game.
Can I have the country of origin again,
You know, I'm
please?
just going to go ahead and get it online here.
P-U.
Got it. Thanks.
J.
We're good.
Welcome back. Game 1 of the Women's College World Series. Tennessee and Arizona are scoreless. We are joined by Lady Vol co-head coach Ralph Weekly. And coach, so far so good. The first time your team has ever been to this World Series. How are the jitters down there in the dugout?
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of jitters down here. We told them there's going to be butterflies. Just keep them flying in formation. I wish we could have got something on that last batter. You know, I told her she's a good hitter too. I said, first pitch is going to be good. Swing at it. And I think when you're facing someone like Hollowell, you can't take that first pitch down the middle.
Hey, Coach, regarding Monica Abbott, she's done a great job. What was your game plan going in, and has she stuck to it?
Well, Lisa, our game plan obviously was to pitch to their weaknesses, and we had a few game films thanks to ESPN, and we're able to look at them. We were going to go away to certain batters and in, and so far she's stuck with that game plan, but they're a pretty tough offense.
All right, Coach Wheatley, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way. It's been a great start for Tennessee. Had to be concerned about the first inning in particular. They've gotten 3 hits so far off of Hollowell, and Monica Abbott has been perfect so far. The sophomore in the circle as Crystal Farley, the first baseman for Arizona, hits for the first time. And Abbott right now just continues to build on her shutout inning string. It's up to 38 straight shutout innings for her. 5 complete game shutouts in the NCAA championship so far heading into this one.
And there you can have a good little sneak peek of what a curveball from a lefty looks like. A ball that, obviously with the control that Abbott has, she could either start it on the inside part of the plate and break it across the plate. She can start it on the middle part of the plate and break it across the plate. A lefty to a lefty is very difficult. Lefties don't see that pitch very often, a pitch with that kind of movement breaking away from them. One thing that's different, a curveball and fast pitch softball is quite a bit different than the curveball you'll see in baseball. The curveball in baseball will tend to be more of an off-speed, big breaking pitch, and you know, our curveball is more something that comes hard and breaks horizontally.
Into the screen, Farley knocks that pitch, so it breaks horizontally. So how do you hit it? If it's coming that fast.
That's the tough thing, and that's, as a hitter, you want to be able to look at a batter and look at their swing plane, and that will give you a good indication of what kind of pitch you can throw to them.
And that one is another strikeout as Farley goes down. ESPN2's coverage of the NCAA Women's College World Series continues later today as freshman pitching sensation Angelica Selden and the UCLA Bruins face the senior-laden Cal Bears. The NCAA Women's College World Series also available in high definition on ESPN2 HD. Call your cable operator or satellite provider today. The NCAA Women's College World Series on ESPN2. For more information, you can always log on to ESPN.com. This is cool being in high definition. We both have high def at home, and there's nothing like it.
You know, it's amazing to see the crispness of the picture. It kind of looks almost 3D-ish. I mean, it's especially seeing sports. So it's exciting to see that finally our game is now raised up to another level.
And all the games here will be in high def. Look at Monica Abbott, Lisa. 570 strikeouts this season. Unbelievable, leading the country in that category along with her 47 wins. As Courtney Fasati, the designated player, comes up for the first time for the Wildcats. She's from Tustin, California. Favorite athlete, Jenny Finch, who was a great pitcher at Arizona and your Olympic teammate last summer. Tustin, California, some great players coming out of that town, both in softball and baseball. And Fasati deciding to come to Arizona as Abbott delivers yet another strike.
And that's something these U of A hitters are going to have to make an adjustment to. Abbott is definitely showing that she is going to go at these lefties with that curveball. They're going to have to either get on the plate and be able to protect that outside corner, but some adjustment is going to have to be done.
As Fasati gets ready to look at a 1-2 pitch. And she definitely swung at that one. 5 strikeouts now for Monica Abbott.
Here you can see Monica Abbott goes from the curve to the rise ball. Tough pitch to lay off of.
Fasati unable to do so. She's the 5th strikeout victim of the afternoon as Adrian Acton comes up, the right fielder for the Wildcats, another left-handed swinger. Sees a lot of action as a pinch runner and has been seeing more and more action in the outfield. Takes that one for ball 1. Arizona has yet to get a hit or a base runner in this game. And this is a team that hits .310, has hit .310 for the season from the plate.
One of the adjustments from a hitter's perspective that can be made is, you know, when you have a pitcher that's throwing curveballs, screwballs, is to move up in the box. Be able to force or get that ball before it breaks.
And that one just scooches foul. Arizona still trying to figure out Monica Abbott, the very talented sophomore pitcher from Salinas, California. 6 no-hitters and 2 perfect games so far this season. And she is perfect so far here as Arizona bats in the bottom of the 3rd inning. She has 500 strikeout years her first 2 seasons in college ball. No one has ever done that twice in a career, much less consecutively. And she struck out the side. 6 strikeouts now for Monica Abbott. She is still perfect as we head to the top of the 4th, still scoreless.
College baseball's long journey to Omaha begins Friday. Straight forward to this done it. And the NCAA Regionals are ESPNU's big event. You've got to play your best to keep the dream alive. He struck him out. First pitches at noon Friday.
If you're looking for more in an auto parts store, get ready. Advance Auto Parts is working harder to make our stores better than the rest. Get ready for an auto parts store unlike anything you've experienced before. Get ready for a cleaner, brighter, better place to shop. Get ready for a store organized so you can easily find what you're looking for. Get ready for in-store innovations you won't find anywhere else. When you want more than just another auto parts store, the first place to go is Advance Auto Parts. We're ready.
College from the Latin collegium, meaning association. University from universium, which literally means everything. And that's what America's institutions of higher learning are all about. People getting together to share a universe of knowledge and experiences in the libraries, labs, and classrooms, and also in the arenas and stadiums, the proving grounds for young athletes and the ancient ideal they honor. Strip the spectacle away, and you're left with the unvarnished foundation of college athletics. Working, dreaming, striving, playing for the love of the game and for the love and respect of your teammates.
Beautiful day for softball here in Oklahoma City, and we are still scoreless as we head to the top of the 4th inning between Arizona and Tennessee. Monica Abbott with a perfect game through 3 for Tennessee as the Lady Vols come up to hit. They left a couple of runners on base in the last inning, stranded there by Alicia Hollowell. 2 terrific pitchers going head-to-head in this one, Hollowell and Abbott. As we head to the top of the 4th inning, and Catherine Card leading off for the Lady Vols. She had an infield single in her first at bat in the second. Card from Soddy Daisy, Tennessee. And the 2 starters from the state of Tennessee for this Lady Vol team. And that one is taken for a strike. Alicia Hollowell, 3-time first team, all Pac-10 pitcher. And just a terrific strikeout pitcher, #1 in Arizona history, and she still has a year to go. And that's her 8th strikeout today. As Card goes down swinging.
And this is Hollowell's game, is she's going to continue to go at these Tennessee hitters with that rise ball until they make an adjustment. And that's part of this game, is being able to make an adjustment from a hitter forcing a pitcher to change her game plan, from a pitcher forcing a hitter to change their game plan. It's kind of a cat and mouse, but right now neither team is really making that adjustment.
Catcher Shannon Depking is now up. She had a sacrifice bunt in her first at bat as Hollowell bounces one in there and then kind of smiles at her catcher, Jackie Coburn. How would you characterize Hollowell? A kind of a cool customer out there? Pop up, and that is easily handled by Christy Fox, the shortstop.
Hollowell is definitely someone that has experience. So she is under control. At times, though, she can get herself worked up, and that was the big move by putting Coburn behind the plate. A senior presence. in other games, Balco, or earlier in the season, it had been Balco. Hollowell would tend to get riled up at times and maybe let the game get to her, but since the switch has been made, she's been settled down a little bit more, and I think that's a credit to Colburn.
And as we saw there in that last bat, they had a nice little joking moment about her pitching one kind of into the dirt. This is the first game in the Women's College World Series, the 24th annual, from Oklahoma City. Pam Moore joined by Lisa Fernandez, who has won 2 championships at UCLA and also 3 gold medals. Holly Rowe, the 3rd member of our team, is wandering the sweltering stands. They're actually not too sweltering, only about 90 degrees here in Oklahoma City. Monica Abbott is throwing a perfect game for Tennessee through 3. That will go out of play. Stacey Jennings comes up for the 2nd time, the right fielder for the Lady Vols, who grounded out in her first at bat. First time these 2 teams have ever played in the postseason. The first time Tennessee has ever made it to the Women's College World Series.
We talked a little bit about an adjustment Arizona could potentially make in facing Abbott. Another adjustment here, Hollowell is more rise ball, drop ball. Tennessee players can get a little farther deeper in the zone, giving themselves a little bit more time to pick up that spin and pick up the plane of the ball.
Jennings fouls another one off. Alicia Hollowell, one of several players going to the national team tryout camp later on this summer. She lost 7 games this year. In 4 of those games, Arizona failed to score a run as she gets yet another strikeout. Strikeout number 9 for Hollowell as we remain scoreless in the Women's College World Series.
In the gym, the squeak of the shoes, the buzzer, the brick, the whistle, the crowd, swish. I left the game, but it'll never leave me.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us are going pro in something other than sports.
Their empire ruled the underground. Their power awoke the world. Few would tell the real story. Until now.
You always were scared to be around this crew.
Inside the Mafia, a 2-night event, starts Monday, June 13th at 9 on the National Geographic Channel. Dare to explore. Available on Channel 276.
You ever get hangovers? Thank goodness for Chaser. Its ingredients have been used for centuries, so I know it's safe. Just 2 Chaser caplets before I go out. The next morning, I feel great. Like a whole new lease on my social life. Listen, do what I do. Drink, drive, avoid hangover. Take Chaser.
Buy Chaser today at GNC, Walgreens, and these other fine stores.
Still scoreless as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning here at the Women's College World Series. Let's take a look now at our Diet Coke game track, and Monica Abbott has been spectacular.
Well, here she's coming at these U of A hitters with an array of pitches. You can see first pitch here on this strikeout is a screwball. Here she comes with a change to Colburn. There you can see a curveball to a lefty. There you can see the rise. And here's another curveball that sets up the strike. A great job that she's been able to do thus far.
6 strikeouts now for Abbott, who is pitching a perfect game. Alicia Hollowell has 9 Ks. Arizona getting to put a runner on. Boy, Monica Abbott has just been spectacular, leading the country with 47 wins on the season. She struck out the side in the 3rd, and now leading off the 4th is Caitlin Lowe, who has a 14-game hitting streak. That is the longest hitting streak for any Wildcat in 2 years. Trying to keep that alive. She was 5 for 7 in the Super Regional in the sweep win against Oklahoma. Oklahoma not at the Women's College World Series. They had come here 5 straight years. They won it all in 2000, and there was some concern that some of the local fans might not show up, but we have a good crowd and expect good crowds throughout the weekend. Of course, Oklahoma City just north of Norman, where the University of Oklahoma is located. Right now, all eyes are on Monica Abbott.
This is going to be a big inning right here. Caitlin Lowe, second time up to bat. See what adjustments she can make. She's already behind in the count. She's just got to settle in and focus on putting the ball in play.
They're facing an 0-2 count and fouls that one off the screen.
And the thing that Abbott's been able to do so well, especially with these running sloppers, utilizing that curveball off the plate, which gets them to fish, as you saw Lowe did right there, extending their hands over the plate, sending them up for that pitch on the inside corner. One thing that's important is that pitchers need to be able to own both sides of the zone and both sides of the plate.
Caitlin Lowe in the past has played on some teams with Monica Abbott, and now facing her, and Lowe goes down swinging. The 7th strikeout and the 4th in a row for Monica Abbott. For more information on the NCAA Women's College World Series, including updated statistics, box scores, and schedules, go to ncaasports.com, the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. Of course, the baseball playoffs just getting underway as well, culminating with the World Series in Omaha. As Autumn Champion steps to the plate for the second time, she grounded out in her first at bat back in the first inning.
And there you can see the running slop again, where they fake the sneaky bunt, draw the infield in, pulls the bat back, and tries to punch it by the drawn-in defenders. That's one of the things that the running sloppers can do, is give you different looks when they go through the box.
No pitch as time was called before Abbott delivered it. Autumn Champion, very frustrating NCAA's last year, where she tore her ACL in the very first game and was unable to compete and had to sit and watch Arizona get eliminated in Tucson. That was the regional from which Oklahoma advanced last year. But this year, a little revenge as Arizona eliminated Oklahoma in the Super Regional as we head down to Holly Rowe.
As you can see, Autumn is still wearing a very hefty leg brace on her front leg. She's been told she needed to wear that brace for a year after she tore that ACL, and this is that time period. So she still wears it. They're going to say after this period she can make a decision whether she wants to take it off or not. But right now she's still wearing it for that little extra support on that ACL.
She's a junior, so she will be back next year, and we talked to her yesterday, and she said she really, probably should have, redshirted. But, you want to come back, you want to play, because it's tough coming back from an ACL that quickly. She tore it in what would have been late May of last year, and then was back playing softball at the beginning of this season. Still a terrific player, hitting .350 on the season coming into this one, as that bunt is foul. Champion, in fact, led the entire country last year with a .489 batting average. And the average down a little bit this year to .350. Still hefty, but...
Well, and a lot of that has to do with, obviously, the injury. When the focus of your game is speed, it's difficult to get a leg taken out from you and, have to recover from something as serious as an ACL. And she's done a great job of being able to come back and contribute, and she knows her job really is, with Caitlin Lowe averaging over base hits over half the time she comes up to the plate. She knows her job really in this U of A lineup is to simply move Caitlin over.
And she also has led off in her career, so she's used to being up in that situation, but more often than not, you're right, Lowe's ahead of her as that one goes high for a ball. Monica Abbott, pitching a perfect game, has not had a base runner obviously here, but she is one ball away from giving up a base on balls. And that one is a comebacker. Abbott has to hurry, lollygag just a little bit, but able to go over and cover to get the out. As Callahan was able to get it, Abbott looked to me like she didn't rush as much as I would, certainly.
Well, that was one of the things the University of Arizona was going to do. They were going to test the pitchers. In the past, pitchers have been known not to be the best defenders, but here you can see that Abbott's doing a great job of fielding her position. Being a lefty, it's a little bit tougher because you have to do the 360 and over to get that throw over to first base. But knowing that, you have to be quicker, and that's something that Abbott's going to have to work on. But the good thing about it is she took her time and threw at her own speed.
Yep, she was very calm about it and still almost threw it away. It actually was a very good play by Callahan, the first baseman, who had to stretch behind her, and they just nipped Champion to get the second out of the inning. Christy Fox now up for the second time. She was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. That one was taken for a strike.
And that's going to be a tough thing for U of A. If Abbott's going to continue to get that pitch on the inside corner or the outside corner to the lefties, she's going to have a field day as she's done so far. And, you know, once again, those U of A players are going to have to make an adjustment in that box and try and get that pitch before it breaks to give them a chance.
And another no pitch for Abbott. Fox is another one of the Arizona Wildcats who has played with Abbott on some other teams. Christie from San Diego, California, only a sophomore. Swing and a miss. Well, Christie Fox and the rest of the Wildcats still trying to figure out Monica Abbott, the sophomore pitching sensation for Tennessee, who has yet to give up a run in the entire NCAA championships this year. This is the 6th time she's pitched. She has 5 complete game shutouts as Fox fouls it off.
And there you can see that's the testament of a pitcher's count. Being 1-2, Abbott now can kind of throw whatever she wants to the zone, and Fox has to protect.
And Monica Abbott is tall at 6'3". Remember, Pat Summitt said she looked at her, and the first question she asked, "Did you play basketball?" When she saw her at Tennessee. No, but she's a darn good softball player. 8 strikeouts now for Abbott. The perfect game still going. And we are scoreless at the World Series.
You know the feeling. Every guy's had it. You're unbeatable, unstoppable. You got that walking on water feeling. You look, they smile. You win, they go home. It's the feeling you get every day with the world's best shave. M3 Power. Every move is smooth. Every word is cool. I never want to lose that feeling. Gillette, the best
American game. College from the Latin collegium, meaning association. University from universium, which literally means everything. And that's what America's institutions of higher learning are all about. People getting together to share a universe of knowledge and experiences in the libraries, labs, and classrooms, and also in the arenas and stadiums, the proving grounds for young athletes and the ancient ideal they honor. Strip the spectacle away, and you're left with the unvarnished foundation of college athletics. Working, dreaming, striving, playing for the love of the game and for the love and respect of your teammates.
Abbott, Monica's dad, and her first time pitching in the College World Series. What were your daughter's nerves like before the game?
I think this is the culmination of where she wanted to be, so I think inside she was probably shaking and outside she was calm.
What an honor to have Pat Summitt come here. When your daughter went on a recruiting visit, Pat told her, "I promise if you get to the World Series, I'll be there." What is it like to have a coach of her stature keep her word?
That was really impressive for Monica. She just thought that was the world. She believes Pat is an outstanding coach and an outstanding role model to be followed, and that just threw confidence into Monica a lot.
All right, now talking about your daughter's nerves, but what about Dad and Mom's nerves sitting here watching your daughter on this big stage?
Well, we've been through a few of these nerve-wracking games before, so if we don't win in another inning or so, I'll have to start pacing, and Mom will start doing her little shaking and more attitude.
All right, so the worst is yet to come if they don't start scoring.
Yet to come if they don't start scoring, yes.
All right, sounds good.
Go find the lucky spot in the stadium.
Okay, not looking for the lucky spot just yet, but we'll see. Pound back to you.
All right, thanks, Holly. And I always thought that had to be very difficult. I mean, it's, when you play, at least obviously you can control what's going on at least at some point. But watching somebody you care about, your kid play, must be agony. And it sounds like the Abbotts are right on the cusp of getting to the agony right now. But on the other side, they're seeing their kid pitch another perfect game. She has been fabulous so far and has really mowed down these Arizona batters.
Well, you seem to be always find the parents of the pitchers. They're the ones that are usually pacing or rubbing something lucky or Whatever it may be.
Whatever it takes. Posey poking it in and playing very shallow is Caitlin Lowe, who is able to come in and grab that for the first out of the inning.
And not only is Caitlin Lowe a great offensive player, but really is a great defensive player. She gets a great jump on that ball, which she typically does in the outfield, but she also has that speed that can track down balls that you think no one's going to get to.
Terrific anticipation. We saw her make a couple of catches in the Super Regional last week that looked like base hits off the bat, but her first jump, her first instinct always seems to be correct. And you're right, boy, when you have that speed, the batter basically has no chance when they fly one out to her. As India Childs comes up for the second time. Childs, the designated player for the Lady Vols this afternoon. She is from Louisville, Kentucky. And a great scholar athlete taking on Alicia Hollowell and swing and a miss. Of course, Hollowell has been no slouch either in this game, also pitching a shutout. But she has given up 3 hits, as well as a walk, but all of the Tennessee runners have been stranded. And that one will have swing. The shortstop, Fox, grabs it for the second out of this inning. Coming up, ESPN2's coverage of the NCAA Women's College World Series continues tonight with a doubleheader. At 7:30 Eastern, DePaul takes on top seeded Michigan. Then at 9:30 Eastern, it's Alabama and Texas. Matt Osterman pitching for the Longhorns. The NCAA Women's College World Series also available in high definition on ESPN2 HD. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Again, DePaul coming in as an unseeded team, making it into the World Series, and Michigan coming in as a top seed for the very first time out of the Big Ten, and they are loaded. They've got great pitchers, and they have kids who can hit the ball out of the ballpark as well.
I'm anxious to see the Wolverines play. They're ranked #1 in the country here coming into this tournament, and I'm curious to see what they've got.
Jenny Ritter has been a fantastic pitcher for them. Jessica Merchant among the big sluggers. That's coming up tonight, and boy, DePaul, they played Michigan during the regular season, and Michigan won, but only 1-0. So, you know, they know each other, and DePaul knows they can play with them. Lindsay Schutzler back up as we head to the top of the order for Tennessee. She has struck out twice in this game and has fallen behind 1-2 to Hollowell. As we are still scoreless here in the 5th inning. This is the first of a doubleheader for us following this game. UCLA and Cal. 2 teams that seem to play every year in the final of the World Series. Have done it 3 years in a row and get each other in the opening round this year. Count 2-2 now to Schutzler. And for the 3rd time today, Schutzler goes down via the strikeout. That is 10 Ks for Hollowell. We are still scoreless in Oklahoma City.
Be prepared, because a victory means nothing without the lesson. And the lesson comes from the work. The hours, the minutes, every second, risking defeat for one last season, one last run. Who knows where it will lead? The NCAA Championships on ESPN. Visit ESPN.com, keyword NCAA Championships.
played a game in our opening game of this 2005 Women's College World Series, Tennessee and Arizona. Both teams still looking for their first runs. The Tennessee pitcher, MonicaAbbott, she has thrown a perfect game now through 4 innings as we head to the bottom of the 5th. She has 8 strikeouts, and Jackie Coburn coming up for the second time in this game as a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning. She's the catcher and the cleanup hitter for the Wildcats, who have yet to solve Abbott. Coburn, who has been behind the plate for about the past 3 weeks or so for Mike Andreas as being catcher, has made her a better hitter. She comes in, came into this game hitting .293 on the season. Was 3 for 9 in the Super Regional win against Oklahoma. And that one is taken upstairs for a ball.
And here you can see Coburn in the box. U of A is trying to make an adjustment. You can see she's slightly up in front of the box. Obviously, with Abbott throwing 68, they're going to have to be quick, but that's got to be the key for Arizona. They've got to move up and make an adjustment and try and get that curveball before it jams into the righties.
That is the 3rd time that Abbott has thrown a pitch without seeing the Arizona batter step out and call timeout.
And that's something that Arizona's, they've got to do. Abbott right now is controlling the tempo of this game. She's taking her time. She's got her thing that she does, her rhythm, you would say, and that's something that U of A could start playing games with, trying to keep her off balance.
You see, she keeps her head down to the last possible instant when she lets go of the ball, and Abbott's certainly a creature of habit. And look at this line. It doesn't get any better than this. 8 strikeouts. She's not allowed a base runner. She has 2 perfect games already this season and has really quieted down this 3rd-seeded Arizona lineup. Tennessee coming in as the 11th seed overall. Coburn just gets a piece of that one.
And of those 53 pitches that Abbott has thrown, over half of them have been curveballs. She's thrown about 28, so that's kind of an indication of what she's going to against these Arizona hitters, and that's what they've got to adjust to. They've got to force her to go to her number 2, her number 3 pitch if she's going to get them out.
And how do you force her to do that?
You want to get up on that box. You want to make sure that you try and get it before it breaks. You either get yourself off the plate a little bit so it doesn't jam you up so much. If you're a lefty, you got to do the opposite.
Coburn going down again. That's 9 strikeouts for Abbott, 2 of them against Coburn.
And this is where, then Abbott's got to make an adjustment. But the one thing that these Arizona players have to do, as you can see here, Abbott goes with the rise ball, is they've got to stick to a game plan. You can't try and hit anything. Obviously, if you've got 2 strikes, then you've got to open up your zone. But any time that you're either in a hitter's count or you have less than 2 strikes, you got to focus on an area. And knowing that Abbott is going to this curveball quite often, that's a pitch that you can sit on. But you've got to be disciplined if you're going to, follow through with that plan.
And so far, nothing has worked for Arizona. Shelly Schultz coming up. She at least got the ball out of the infield as she flew out in her first at-bat.
And that's a good look right there of what we would call a backdoor curveball. You've seen a lot of Abbott's curveballs going into the righties. That's a backdoor curveball where you can see it started in the left-handed batter's box and tried to come around to that outside corner.
So it's a curveball with an adjustment to it.
Oh, definitely, and that's a great pitch to have. It makes you own both sides of the plate.
That one is taken high for a ball. Shelly Schultz, one of those players who has moved around a bit defensively for Mike Candrea's team. Candrea, the Olympic gold medal winning coach for the United States. I was going to say us, but for the United States in Athens. Again, lifting it into the air, but this time the shortstop Schutzler able to backtrack onto the grass and retires Schultz on the pop-up. So the perfect game still intact for Abbott as we have 2 outs now here in the 5th inning. And Callisto Balco, the freshman second baseman, up for the 2nd time for Arizona. She struck out in her first at-bat. Gets a hold of that one, but that will go into the stands down the right field line. Softball goes 7 innings in a regulation game. We are knotted up in this 0-0 tie in Oklahoma City. Cal and UCLA follow later on this afternoon. As Balco takes that pitch for a strike. Abbott coming in with an incredible 47-7 record on the season. Her ERA at 0.49. 31 shutouts on the season as Pat Summitt looks on, Monica's buddy. Pat Summitt, I mean, what a great recruiting tool for Tennessee when, Summitt meets with the recruits. She also met with Abbott about a month ago, had a one-on-one meeting. That's Holly Warlick, her top assistant, just to Pat's right, who was a great player at Tennessee on the basketball team. And she talked to the Tennessee softball players, said she didn't like their body language, their body English, and picks up these things, talks to the team, and obviously had a captive audience.
And that's a big part of this game. It's not just what you do physically on the field, but it's how you present yourself. It's the aura that you release. It's the mental part of the game that really separates the good from the great. And obviously, Pat Summitt, with the experience that she has, she knows what it is to be great and how to develop great athletes.
And you would listen to it, right, if she came in to talk to you?
Please. I would be like, geez.
Jeez, coach me up.
I mean, I'm speechless. I can't even,
Taken high around head level now at about 67 miles per hour. Again, the rubber is 43 feet away from the plate in softball. So anything around 67 miles an hour, you're talking about the high 90s if you were to equate that to a baseball pitch.
Definitely, and that's all in a matter of reaction time. It's the time that the ball releases her hand and it crosses to the plate, gets there in a hurry.
And that one is a base hit. The perfect game has been broken up as Balco goes the opposite way. The first base runner of the day for Arizona. So Monica Abbott loses the perfect game with 2 outs here in the 5th.
And that's a great piece of hitting right there by Balco. She shortened up on her swing, wasn't looking to pull that ball as she had done earlier in her at-bat. She just kind of poked it out. And that's what Arizona's going to have to do. They're going to have to take off of their swing, realizing that Abbott's having a great game. She is on her game today. They just want to put the ball in play.
And they did that. Balco, the 2-out base runner on Callista's 4th base hit of this postseason, as Crystal Farley, the first baseman, comes up. So now if you're Arizona, you wonder, will this resonate now that they know they've gotten a hit against her? Will that boost the confidence perhaps of the other Arizona players knowing they finally gotten to her?
Well, definitely. I mean, I think anytime you can put the ball in play, that's something that's positive for your team. It's hitting is contagious. Once someone kind of starts to figure it out, and maybe Balco's going to come into the dugout and say, hey, this is what I did, this is what I looked for, and it's going to kind of travel through the team. And you gotta move in small steps. You're not trying to hit the bomb. You just want to make contact. You want something to happen. You want to create that pressure on that Tennessee team.
And Balco, the 6th batter in this lineup, able to get the single, and is the first Arizona base runner this afternoon. It's the catcher, Shannon Depkin. The opportunity to catch Monica Abbott, who has thrown 68 pitches, and pitch count is not nearly as important in softball as it is in baseball.
Well, the softball motion is more of a natural motion, really throwing underhand. There's not as much stress on the shoulder, and particularly the elbow, that you would find in baseball. And that's really why those pitch counts are kept in baseball, just to see how their pitchers and the strain that they can get on their arm. In softball, that's not the case. Really, it's a natural motion. These pitchers, have been known to go 21 innings, 29 innings, multiple days, 3 days in a row. You're going to see pitchers in this tournament that will, potentially throw 3, 4, 5 days in a row. And really, the first thing to go in fast-pitch softball would be the legs. You can see we generate a lot of power with that push off the mound, and that would be the first thing that would fatigue on an athlete.
That one is hit to Schutzler, the shortstop, and she just nips the runner Farley. So the perfect game is over, but the shutout is still intact. Arizona and Tennessee fighting it out in this first game of the Women's College World Series.
I ran the 800. I studied mechanical engineering and industrial design. I was a conference champion. I graduated with a GPA of 3.2. It took hard work. It took stamina. And believe me, I rely on those things every day raising my daughter.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us are going pro in something other than sports.
Everyone loves to motor, especially in a Mini Cooper. Who can get enough of that whip-tastic handling? But too many turns in one direction, and all those exciting G-forces can distort your complexion. Uh-oh. Yup, G-face. G-face. And G-face can last for hours. Yikes. That's why you need G-Whiz by MotorMate. As you turn, the liquid-filled indicator actually shows when you're experiencing G's. And most importantly, in which direction. Attach G-Whiz to your passenger visor, and you can motor your brains out. Never worrying about too many high-speed turns in the same direction. Not to mention embarrassing G-Face. When the carefully engineered indicator enters the red zone, it's time to turn the other way. Say goodbye to G-Face. To order your G-Whiz for $29.99, visit MotorMate.com or send a self-addressed stamped envelope to MotorMate.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City. This opening game of the 2005 Women's College World Series, scoreless between Tennessee and Arizona. Arizona breaking up Monica Abbott's perfect game with 2 outs in the 5th inning. But we are still looking for our first run. Pam Ward joined by Holly Rowe and also Lisa Fernandez, our analyst, who won a couple of these World Series with UCLA, also lost a couple. I had to bring that up.
Do you have to bring that up?
When you were with UCLA, but just came home with her 3rd Olympic gold medal. It has been a pitcher's duel, a classic pitcher's duel. 8 strikeouts for Abbott and 10 for Alicia Hollowell for Arizona. The number 2 batter in the order for Tennessee, Sarah Feckerty, leading off. She actually singled in the 3rd inning and was stranded at 3rd, struck out in her 1st at bat. But Feckerty, who broke her jaw in late March, had a concussion earlier in the season when she was hit by a ball while standing in the on-deck circle. So the kid's been roughed around a little bit as that trickles foul.
And that's a good job right there by the U of A defense, being able to read the spin-off ball. Obviously, with a running slapper, she got a good jump there. She was probably going to be able to beat that out. They could see the rotation, know it was going to roll out, allow the ball to roll, foul. Once that ball crosses that foul line, you must touch it, because you can see that ball starts to roll back. It will be a fair ball if it does end up rolling back into fair ground.
Yep, the ball's still in play until it is touched, and Shelly Schultz, the 3rd baseman, making sure that did not happen. Strikeout number 11 for Alicia Hollowell as Feckerty goes down. Now Christy Durant, the 3rd baseman for the Lady Vols, tries to solve Hollowell. The top 3 batters in this Tennessee order all hitting over 400 on the season coming into this game. So a very potent 1-2-3 lineup. And Durant, like Feckerty before her, singled in the 3rd inning, but also like Feckerty before her, got stranded.
And that was a big missed opportunity there by Tennessee. Although there were 2 outs, it was good momentum. It did get them to settle down a little bit, and they know that they have that potential.
1st and 3rd with 2 outs, and then Tanya Callahan struck out for the 2nd time in the game to strand everybody as that one comes straight back. University of Tennessee in the Women's College World Series for the very first time, really making some noise in the SEC, which is getting tougher. Georgia was very good this year. Alabama also making it to the Women's College World Series, so the SEC well represented in Oklahoma City this year. And that one is grounded down to the 1st baseman, Farley, who steps on the bag for the 2nd out. If you are looking for a complete list of national statistical leaders in every NCAA sport, go to ncaasports.com, the official online home for our 88 NCAA championships. They'll have a lot of information as well on this Women's College World Series, a lot of up-to-date statistics so you can keep track of the 8 teams remaining in softball. This is a double elimination tournament. This is game 1 in day 1. Tanya Callahan, who struck out with 2 runners on her last trip to the plate, now steps up for Tennessee. Now, she doesn't have very many Jimmy Chitwood stickers on her helmet. Some of the kids have them all over the place. The JC that the players have put on their helmets because they really feel like they're the underdog coming into this. They are, in fact, the 11th seed, first trip in, and they would love to pull off what a lot of people thought would be the impossible, winning a World Series in their first ever trip. course, Oklahoma did that in their first ever trip back here in 2000.
Well, and they definitely got a catalyst there in the dugout with MonicaAbbott, as you saw. She's definitely leading him in the circle.
Boy, Alicia Hollowell shutting out this Tennessee team. .30 pitch now for Hollowell as she faces Tanya Callahan. 2 outs, nobody on base. And that one is not foul. For more on the stickers, let's go down to Holly Rowe.
Well, Pam, as you mentioned, that stands for Jimmy Chitwood from Hoosiers. He wanted the ball in his hands in big moments, and that's the kind of attitude that the coaches are trying to instill with Tennessee. So they hand those stickers out when the players have done something to deserve them, like a big play, what they call a big dog play, or a kamikaze play, or just that attitude of wanting the ball, wanting to make something happen. They feel like it gives their players a sense of urgency, and that's why they're handing them out.
All right, thanks, Holly. And not to short Callahan, she has a ton of stickers, but some of the kids have elected to put them all over the helmet. She's going in the back. It's kind of like Ohio State Buckeyes in football, where they put the Buckeyes on for big plays, things like that. And Tennessee doing that for their softball team as Callahan draws the 2-out walk.
Great job there by Callahan. Actually, an aggressive play there by Weekly, allowing Callahan to swing 3-0, knowing that he's got his big hitter up to the plate, looking for a ball that she can drive, knowing that Hollowell was going to have to throw it through the zone. But good piece of hitting there by Callahan, being able to lay off that drop ball and being able to get on first base.
And Callahan will be pinch run 4 as Ashley Klein comes in. And with the re-entry rule, Callahan will be able to come back in, but electing to go with some speed with 2 outs as they bring in Ashley, who is a sophomore from Gallatin, Tennessee.
And there's the deep bench of the Tennessee team, being able to pull in pinch runners and get some more speed on the base pass, even though there's 2 outs, which is usually not a customary move. He knows it's late in the game. He's got to look for any opportunity.
In the 6th inning, as Catherine Card comes up, swing and a miss on that first pitch. She has struck out, also had an infield single in this game.
And as the game gets later on, you got to start taking your chances as a hitter. Really, Hollowell hasn't challenged any of these lefties inside. She's predominantly worked away. Get on the plate and look to drive it.
Taken up for the ball. Catherine Card coming in. She's a Tennessee native, hitting .307 on the season, and boy, trying to push across the first run here against Alicia Hollowell. MonicaAbbott pitching a 1-hitter so far for Tennessee, and then you have Hollowell with the shutout. But that one is a clean, solid base hit, and Klein, the pinch runner, held up for an instant at second, and then goes to third, and now she's coming home, but Hollowell doesn't get her. Klein able to slide under the tag for the first run of the game. So a defensive breakdown for Arizona leads to the first run.
Just a great piece of hitting there, being able to get on the plate, driving that pitch, and truly, Ralph Weekly putting in the pinch runner. Klein goes first to third, forces U of A to play catch. They bring the ball in. It's a ball in the dirt, not able to be picked there by Farley at first. And once again, Klein does a great job and an aggressive piece of hitting. Hollowell was not prepared for that play. She did not think that Klein was going to take that extra base. When she initially looked, Klein had hesitated and wasn't prepared when that throw came into her to do what she needed to do to put the tag on her.
So no RBI in that situation, but a single for Card. And as you mentioned, Klein doing a terrific job, the aggressiveness on the base paths. There was an error to the right fielder, Adrian Acton, on the throw. And Tennessee is on the board. And Card had advanced to second on that bad throw. So the run coming with 2 outs as Shannon Depking comes to the plate for Tennessee.
And right there you can say the defensive breakdown of Arizona. Acton getting the base hit to right field, either should have gone to third to get the lead runner, or the fact that she threw home for whatever reason. Once that ball was in the dirt, Farley should have let it go to prevent that mishap.
Depking pops out to Balco to end the inning. But an unearned run comes across the plate for Tennessee. And the Lady Vols, in their first ever trip to the Women's College World Series, lead as Arizona comes to bat in the bottom of the 6th.
You know the feeling. Every guy's had it. You're unbeatable, unstoppable. You got that walking on water feeling. You look, they smile. You win, they go home. It's the feeling you get every day with the world's best shave. M3 Power. Every move is smooth. Every word is cool. I never want to lose that feeling.
The most infamous assassination of all time is just the beginning.
Caesar is dead.
And the future of an empire.
Caesar named you his heir.
Lies in the hands of a gladiator.
I vowed to protect you.
ABC presents the biggest television event of the summer.
Claim your destiny.
You'll never be Caesar! You leave Rome a hunted boy, but you'll return an emperor.
From the Oscar-winning producers of Chicago, Empire premieres Tuesday, June 28th, only on ABC.
Tennessee has finally broken through. They lead Arizona now in the bottom of the 6th inning here in Game 1 of the Women's College World Series, and they do it thanks to some shaky defense for Arizona.
It's uncharacteristic for Arizona to be able to have to do this. Usually their defense is airtight, and you can see here the base hit to right field, runner at first. Runner's going to third. Ball should have gone to Balco, be in the cut. Instead, Acton tried to throw it through. It bounced off of Farley, allowing the run to score.
And that was a great move. Ashley Klein coming in as the pinch runner for Tanya Callahan. Some aggressive base running. And the error charged to Acton, the right fielder. And this obviously is huge. This is the first run of the game. Monica Abbott has only given up 1 run for Tennessee. And the Lady Vols playing in their first ever Women's College World Series. And they are 6 outs away from winning their first game and staying in the ever-important winners bracket in this double elimination tournament.
And that's what makes this game so special. It is action-packed, and it is the one opportunity that you have. You must take advantage of it, because it may be the only opportunity you may have in the game. And there, Klein did a great job as a pinch runner to be able to take advantage of the mistakes that U of A made and be able to score potentially the winning run of the game.
And Monica Abbott, this is incredible too, Lisa. Only going to a 3-ball count. And 2 of the last 16 batters that she has faced. She had a perfect game broken up with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning, giving up a single. But boy, she has been terrific. The sophomore pitcher from California.
And that's really unheard of, to think that she's only gone 3 balls on 2 batters out of 16 that she faces. I mean, that is just being an efficient pitcher, staying ahead of the count, keeping these Arizona hitters off or on the defense because they are continually having to protect.
Courtney Fossati, the number 8 batter in the lineup for Arizona, up for the 2nd time. She struck out in her only at bat back in the 3rd inning. Some of the fans starting to make a little bit of noise, as I'm sure a lot of the fans who are neither Tennessee or Arizona fans, as it's customary, you start rooting for the underdog in a situation like this, and it's pretty exciting now for the Lady Vols as Fossati fouls it straight back. Monica Abbott has pitched all 5 games in the NCAA championships for Tennessee, every inning, and she has not yet allowed a run, period. Arizona, on the other hand, the last 7 runs scored against them have been unearned. Abbott, a sophomore pitcher, which is silly. Wait till she grows up a little bit and gets some experience. But
she's just shown an incredible amount of maturity, being a sophomore, being able to come in here in this kind of arena, the College World Series, and facing the University of Arizona that has such a tradition as they have to be able to get it done and has performed so well here. You can't say enough about what she's been able to do.
Arizona has been to this World Series a ton of times. This is their 18th in the last 19 years. And they have lost 3 times in 16 first-round appearances. So this would be highly unusual. And there's a strikeout. Vasadi going down for the second time, and that's 10 strikeouts for Abbott.
And this is what Abbott's been doing all game. Although here to Fasadi, she got behind 2-0 in the count. She went right to her strength, which has been that curveball, and was able to sit her down on 3 pitches.
So 10 strikeouts now for the sophomore Abbott, the 27th double-digit performance of the season for her as far as strikeouts are concerned. That's this season, 27 this year, 61 overall for Tennessee. Again, she's had back-to-back 500 strikeout seasons for the Lady Vols. No pitcher has ever had 2 500 strikeout seasons in their careers, much less in consecutive seasons, and much less as a freshman and sophomore. Man, so just a dominating pitcher is Monica Abbott. Nobody knows that better now than Arizona. Acton was a strikeout victim and her only at bat. And she swings through that one at 68 miles an hour.
And Monica Abbott is an intimidating presence, being 6'3". By the time she strides, the circle is 8 feet around the pitching rubber. She's out of the circle by the time she releases that ball, and that just goes to show, instead of being 43 feet away, now she's 38.
Right on top as that one goes into the stands. Opening round action between Tennessee and Arizona. UCLA and California will follow us in the second part of our doubleheader. 2 powerhouses from the Pac-10. We're used to being here. Arizona did not get to the World Series last year, breaking a string of 16 straight as another foul back. And even though Arizona, we talked about their experience, 5 of their starters actually, this is their first World Series because they do have some youth on the team and missed out last season. And as wonderful as Caitlin Lowe is, she's a sophomore. She's never played in a World Series before since they missed out during her freshman season. Boy, Tennessee trying to pull off the upset, up 1-0 here, as that one is lined right to the third baseman Durant for the second out. ESPN2's coverage of the NCAA Women's College World Series continues later on. Freshman pitching sensation Angelica Selden and UCLA take on the Cal Bears. The NCAA College World Series also available in high definition on ESPN2 HD. Call your cable operator or satellite provider today. The NCAA Women's College World Series on ESPN2. For more information, you can log on to ESPN.com. That start time listed there about 12 minutes from now, but we'll have to push it back. It'll be about 20 minutes or so after this game concludes. And here's Caitlin Lowe working on this 14-game hitting streak, which is in peril right now. She was grounded out and struck out in her 2 at-bats, that 14-game hit streak, the longest in a couple of years at Arizona. Oh, just a tremendous young talent for the Wildcats, but has not been able to solve Monica Abbott. That Lowe's so good, she's a finalist for a Player of the Year, a National Player of the Year award.
And this is interesting. Caitlin Lowe, who's typically known as being a running slapper, is actually standing in there taking her cut. She does have 5 home runs on the year. She's looking to try and make an adjustment. Her slapping game wasn't helping her, and now she's trying to stand in.
And she does have the ability to swing away as that one is lined down the left field line. Catherine Card makes a dive for it, but can't hang on, and we'll have another opportunity.
And here you can see the effort that was given there. Unfortunately, she let her knee hit first, and that kind of slowed her up. But it's a good effort, and that's what you want to do as a defense. You want to make anything that's put in play as tough as possible to land on the ground. You want to give all effort.
Caitlin Lowe likes to swing away, particularly with the first and third basemen shortened up, which they are in this situation. In fact, Caitlin has 2 home runs in this postseason already. So she does have the pop in her bat, making her doubly dangerous, and deciding to swing away in this at-bat against Abbott.
There you get a good little view of how the infield is shaded in the outfield.
Lowe now a 1-2 offering from Abbott. And that one also popped up out of play. Just
And here you can see Abbott here, a little side profile. We talked about her stride, reaching the 8-foot circle. You can see her arm is about 2 or 3 feet back, so she's throwing it about 38 to maybe 37 feet by the time she releases. And that's, you know, that's a lot of power there when someone's coming at you at 6'3", driving off that mound.
So another 1-2 pitch for Lowe, who steps out, and for the 4th time, Abbott delivers one. She just looks down and does not even look up to the last possible instant, so she's not going to see those late timeout calls at the plate. Lowe spoils off another one, so Lowe has seen a lot of pitches in this at-bat from Abbott. This is her 3rd at-bat against Monica in this game.
And here you can see that Caitlin Lowe has been battling Abbott to the point where, you know, Abbott's now going at her with some rise balls. And earlier at bats for Caitlin Lowe, she'd been going all curveballs. Now that Lowe is standing in there hitting, Abbott seems to try and be attacking her through the zone. But look to her to go away as she's setting her up now.
And she gets her, wow. Pulling the string on that one. 11 strikeouts now for Abbott. Tennessee 3 outs away from taking game 1 in this Women's College World Series.
If you're looking for more in an auto parts store, get ready. Advance Auto Parts is working harder to make our stores better than the rest. Get ready for an auto parts store unlike anything you've experienced before. Get ready for a cleaner, brighter, better place to shop. Get ready for a store organized so you can easily find what you're looking for. Get ready for in-store innovations you won't find anywhere else. When you want more than just another auto parts store, the first place to go is Advance Auto Parts. We're ready.
We missed you at book club.
Is that presentation finished?
It's called the Alternative Minimum Tax.
I get a lollipop.
I know it's your sister's shower, but tomorrow's the club championship.
Mom, Victor and I are moving in together. Can I get a dog?
Pujols.
Team?
St. Louis Cardinals.
Could you give me the country of origin, please?
Dominican Republic.
Could you use it in a sentence, please?
Pujols homered to win the game.
Can I have the country of origin again,
You know, I'm
please?
just going to go ahead and get it online here.
P-U...
Got it. Thanks.
J...
We're good.
Some of the emotion that we have seen so far in game 1 of the Women's College World Series. They are playing for that piece of hardware, the national championship, as we head on to the top of the 7th inning. Tennessee, the 11th seed, first ever trip to this series, leading Arizona 1-0. Stacey Jennings will lead off here for the Lady Vols. Pops it up, out of play. The only run of this game was an unearned run, scoring on an error back in the 5th inning. Ashley Klein, the pinch runner, with a terrific slide under Alicia Hollowell's tag at home, giving Tennessee the 1-0 lead. That called a strike. Very outside corner. Let's take a look at our pitchers today, Lisa.
Well, here you can see that they're very comparable. Obviously, the big thing that sticks out is the 4 hits that Hollowell has given up and the 1 hit that Abbott has only given up, and obviously the fact that Tennessee has scored a run. But the one thing that Abbott has done that's been just so impressive is the fact that she's been able to stay in pitcher's counts. You can see Hollowell has had 2 walks in this game. She's gotten behind a few times, and you know, as a pitcher, you just want to keep the tempo in your favor, and that's staying truly ahead of the count, keeping the hitters off. Anytime a hitter can get in there and get some kind of an edge, it's always going to play to their favor. And Abbott's just doing a great job of being on top of her game.
12th strikeout. Jennings goes down. Just to correct myself, that run came in the 6th inning of this game, the last inning for Tennessee, not the 5th. But Monica Abbott pitching a one-hitter, just 3 outs away from giving Tennessee a win. Posey popping that one up into no man's land, and Balco, the second baseman, stepping in front of Lowe, the center fielder, to make the grab.
And this is where communication comes into the play. You always have to, and this is something you work on in practice, being able to communicate amongst one another, because there are times when there are collisions. Typically, you want your outfielders to take anything that's coming in, but Balco did a great job of being able to at least warn Lowe, who decided to go down, which is the good call on Lowe's part. Anytime that you're close, it's better to just go and let your teammate roll over the top as opposed to having a shoulder-to-shoulder kind of collision.
And thrown out at first is India Childs, who tried to put one down towards the third baseman, but she is retired. But Arizona down to its final 3 outs as Tennessee tries to take game 1.
Be prepared, because a victory means nothing without the lesson. And the lesson comes from the work. The hours, the minutes, every second, risking defeat for one last season, one last run. Who knows where it will lead? The NCAA Championships on ESPN. Visit ESPN.com, keyword NCAA Championships.
First trip to the Women's College World Series for the University of Tennessee. They have never played in a World Series before today, and right now they are 3 outs away from taking game 1 against mighty Arizona, a school that has won 6 national championships and has been to 18 World Series in the last 19 years. But Monica Abbott, that young lady at 6'3", sophomore, has been mowing them down and has pitched a one-hitter. Autumn champion, the number 2 batter in the lineup for Arizona, leads off what could be the final inning for the Wildcats. The only run scored by Tennessee was an unearned run in the 6th inning.
And although Abbott thus far has thrown a one-hitter, this game is by no means over. We've got the meat of the U of A lineup coming up. Autumn champion, a running slapper to lead things off, but that's followed up by Fox, Coburn, and Schultz. And you know, those 3 can do some damage. Definitely the power hitters in this U of A lineup.
Tennessee is 44-0 when leading after 6 innings. That's on the other side of the coin. They're playing Arizona. They got the meat of the order up, but they have not blown a lead after leading up after 6 innings and 44 attempts.
And that's what Abbott has to continue to do, is go right at these U of A hitters. She's got a 1-run lead. She doesn't want to give them anything that they don't earn. And that's her job in the circle right now.
And that's Bruce Abbott, Monica Abbott's dad. I think maybe he's found his lucky seed. He's hoping to. He told our Holly Rowe earlier in the game that he has to move sometimes to find the lucky seat because Tennessee wasn't scoring. He's moved from that vacant seat. We go up a couple of rows. He's got the puffy hand. He's all ready to go.
He's ready to catch a foul ball.
Champion taking strike 2, so Abbott quickly ahead 0-2 on Autumn champion. Christy Fox waits on deck. Fox and Coburn, the next 2 batters for Arizona, have struck out in all their previous at-bats today. Oh, the Tennessee fans wanted that one. Champion gets the call in her favor. Mr. Abbott certainly wanted that one.
And this is a good job by Abbott there, trying to expand that strike zone. She's ahead in the count, trying to get Champion there to kind of fish for something. That's what happens. That's what you can do when you're ahead in the count.
Popped up behind the plate and out of play as Champion stays alive.
And there you can see Abbott's got to protect that outside corner because she realizes that she's kind of living and dying off it. So she sets up, going up and in, keeping on him, Champion honest. And that's part of being a great pitcher, is being able to know what your go-to is and set it up accordingly.
Arizona players hoping for another comeback. They had a terrific one against Oklahoma in the Super Regional, and that one is taken for a ball.
And that's that backdoor curveball. That looked like a good pitch there. I think it caught the umpire behind the plate a little bit off guard, but, you know, Abbott's still got to continue to battle, continue to do her thing. Here, you'll get a good look at it. And there it is.
If you're a pitcher, you want that call. If you're a batter,
you definitely want that call when you're a pitcher.
Tom Topping behind the plate, and Champion right to the shortstop by Schutzler for the first out of the inning.
And there you go. You can see Abbott settles in. Great play there by Schutzler. One thing that you want to do whenever you have a line drive hit you like this as a defensive player is get that glove up and show it to the umpire as quick as possible, so that way the call will be made easier and quicker on the umpire's part.
So Schutzler able to hang on to that liner. Champion with some speed down the line, but she caught it on the fly. First out of the inning. Christy Fox, who was struck out in both plate appearances, takes strike one.
And this is where Abbott, although she wants to be aggressive, she has to be careful. Fox is the U of A team's go-to player with Coburn on back. This is the power of this U of A team. And even though she's been flying by so far, she can't let this game get out of control. She needs to still go pitch by pitch.
Fox pops that up. Depking, the catcher, grabs it for out number 2. Now let's take a look at the Pontiac game-changing performance, and it's the only run of this game. Ashley Klein, very aggressive, takes advantage of the error, and this is a terrific slide as the ball beat her to the plate, but she's able to get in under Hollowell's slide for the first and only run of this ball game. An unearned run in the 6th inning, and now Tennessee 1 out away from winning their first ever game in the World Series. And another no pitch as Coburn stepped out rather late, and the Tennessee fans let them know about it. That Tennessee fans are very distinctive. That orange, it's almost like you need sunglasses to shield you from all that bright orange. They're here in force up the first base line.
And Abbott's doing a good job of not letting that get to her. She just continues to throw the pitch and stays on rhythm.
Unflappable as the strike is delivered to Coburn, and her velocity is still up in the upper 60s.
And that was one thing that Karen Weekly, co-head coach from Tennessee, had said. Even though Abbott has thrown a number of games, her speed has never gone down, and that is something that they've always looked to see what kind of fatigue she's in.
Oh boy, Coburn swinging through that one. And Monica Abbott, you would never know this is the first time on the large stage for her.